Welcome into Mavericks Today by Chat Sports. I'm Jeffrey Cooperstein, and on the show today, we are breaking down the new Mavericks and Anthony Davis and Max Christie. Yes, the Mavericks traded Luka, and we're all not happy about it, but they did get two new players in return from the Lakers, so let's talk about them. Before we hop into today's show, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. It's youtube.com/MavsTV. We'll have you covered all up until the 2025 NBA trade deadline on Thursday. If the Mavericks make another move, we'll have you covered. If they don't make a move, we'll tell you what they could do in the buyout market. So hit that subscribe button. And without further ado, let's hop right in to today's show. And we'll start with the prize jewel, so to speak, of the Mavericks' return in Anthony Davis. And make no mistake about this. Anthony Davis, when he plays, is one of the best players in the NBA. The guy has been an established vet for a long time in this league. And since he's been with the Lakers, he has absolutely dominated, again, when he's been on the floor. You take a look at the last 4 seasons for Anthony Davis, sort of riddled by injury in those first 2 years on your screen, but still averaging 23-9, 25-12.5, 2 blocks a game each of the last 4 seasons. Again, it's all about if AD can stay healthy or not. That is the question. AD is a great player. His contract, though, it's a little dicey. Now, AD this season making $42.3 million, and then his extension kicks in where he'll be making 54, 58.5, and a player option in 27-28 when he is 35 years old of $62.8 million. And in my opinion, this contract will not age well. Anthony Davis, like I said, has dealt with injury each of the last 4 seasons. He's dealing with one right now in an abdominal strain. Now, he is questionable for the game against Philadelphia, where he potentially could make his Mavericks debut. But I don't see this contract aging too well. And while, according to Mavs GM Nico Harrison, this fits the timeline, I'm not sure Anthony Davis has many years of good basketball left. I think he can play some really good basketball for this Mavericks team this year, maybe even next year. But when you get into the 26-27 season, where he's going to be 34, going to be playing a lot of basketball, will Anthony Davis still look the same there? I'm not sure. I think this season, the Mavericks can contend. I think they have a really good starting 5. They still have a decent bench. And I think in the Western Conference, they're still going to be a team to be reckoned with, especially if they match up against a team like the Oklahoma City Thunder, who now Luka won't be there, but the Mavericks do have their number, and they are inside the Thunder's head. So we'll see what happens there. But as far as this season in particular goes, I do think that the Mavericks can still contend in the Western Conference. Let me know what you guys think down below, though. Will the Mavs win a playoff series with Anthony Davis? I want to hear from you. Type Y for yes or type N for no. We'll get to the rest of the show here in just a few moments, but I do need to tell you guys about our sponsor, which, of course, is PrizePicks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. PrizePicks has over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, making daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on PrizePicks. The big game is almost here, and it is now or never. Don't miss out on the last football game of the season with PrizePicks, the best place to win cash while watching the big game. PrizePicks is also giving away a free pick for the big game, where one of the starting quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes, that you see on your screen right now, will need to throw 1 yard to win. If you're correct on at least one more stat projection, you can win some real cash. And also be sure to check out the promos tab to tail any of our Super Sweat Millie Winners big game lineups. If you tail a lineup that goes 3 for 3, you can win a split of up to $1 million in promo funds. And PrizePicks is also the best place to get action in more than 30 states, including California, Georgia, Florida, and, of course, Texas. They put their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. So how do you play? It's super easy. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use code CLNS to get a $50 bonus when you play your first $5 lineup. Again, download the app today. Use code CLNS to get that $50 bonus when you play your first lineup. It is PrizePicks. Run your game. Max Christie was the other guy that the Mavericks acquired in the trade that sent Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers. And he's a promising young guard forward who has shown some upside. Now, especially this season where he's having by far the best season of his career. The Lakers have made him an established part of their rotation before he got traded. He's averaging 8.5 points, almost 37% from 3 on 3.5 attempts. And I like Max Christie, the player. We'll get to it in a moment, though. His fit here is kind of difficult, which is a problem considering he is in the first year of a 4-year, $32 million contract. And the Mavericks do have a lot of players that look like Max Christie on this team. There's a lot of guys who kind of fit that 2-3 type who all sit 6'6" to sort of 6'8", and there is a bit of a logjam there where you look at who they have on the roster. There are 7 guys that kind of fit this description who are all between 6'5" and 6'8". It's Jaden Hardy. You have PJ Washington, obviously Klay Thompson, Quentin Grimes, along with Christie, Marshall, and Prosper. Now, Prosper is a little bigger, and he's probably going to play a little bit of the 4. But when you look at this team now, it is kind of oddly constructed. And where I think Max Christie ends up fitting in is I think this allows the Mavericks to either make a move with Quentin Grimes by this Thursday, or if they decide to let Grimes go to restricted free agency, Christie is a guy that they could, more or less replace Quentin Grimes with, as they're sort of the same player. Now, I think Grimes is a little bit better of a three-point shooter. I think he's a little bit better of a defender and a better overall player. But this all leads me to say I would not be shocked if the Mavericks made another move. I still think that Nico Harrison is on the phones. He's still trying to figure out what exactly this team needs in order to be a true contender. And while he made the worst move in sports history in trading Luka Doncic, there still is work to be done. The Mavericks do still have to play basketball, and they still are in the thick of a Western Conference playoff race. So if I'm Nico Harrison, I'm still trying to put my head down and figure out exactly what this team needs and how he can improve it as best as he can before Thursday's trade deadline. We're all still mad at Nico, but there are still moves to be made, and we'll see if he does just that. Before we get on out of here, I want to know what you guys think. Will the Mavs make another move before the trade deadline? If you think they will, type T for trade. If you don't, type P for pass. Let me know down in the comments. I'm curious to hear what you guys got to say. And to be clear, this still sucks. Anthony Davis and Max Christie are 2 good players. Anthony Davis is a very good player, a multi-time All-Star, All-NBA, NBA champ. This still sucks. It doesn't take the sting out of losing Luka Doncic on this team. And we're trying to now sort of move on because we have no choice. The Mavericks are going to play basketball without Luka Doncic. Luka is going to play for the Lakers wearing a Lakers uniform and not a Mavs uniform. So the best we can, we still have to cover this team. We still have to give you everything that is going on surrounding this team. I would be remiss if I didn't tell you about Anthony Davis and Max Christie because they are a part of this team going forward. So that's why you hit that subscribe button. It's youtube.com/MavsTV. Good, bad, or ugly, we will have you covered. Stay tuned, and we'll talk to you guys soon.